So let's talk about our next console. This is Project Scarlett, the most powerful and highest performing console we've ever designed.
So we just heard about the future of Xbox, and I'm really interested in the new console. We're talking about how powerful it's going to be, and we're talking about the next generation with xCloud.
Yeah.
But I wonder what the timeline, the support timeline looks like for the Xbox One S and the Xbox One.
It's interesting when I look at the community of people who play on Xbox even right now. We have millions and millions of players who are still on 360, and they're still playing. And I think that's an important thing in gaming right now, is as companies that run large platforms that have a lot of first-party games or even support for third-party games, reaching the players where that player wants to play and not making it about the things that we need is critically important. So in terms of S and X timelines specifically, I don't have anything to announce, nor to even have like dates in my head. But the fact that we have millions of people still playing on their 360 and having a great time, I think those platforms have years and years ahead of them, and that's a good thing for the industry.
This October, you'll be able to use our hybrid gaming cloud to play your games wherever you go.
Streaming video games changes the entire industry.
Yeah.
The ability to access games in that way. And technically, a 1080p console, a console that could only go up to 1080p, could exist, in perpetuity with streaming. You could play all the new games just at 1080p.
Right.
So what is the benefit of a new console, I guess, in this generation?
Yeah, we really focus on choice for our players. We see it today where we have certain players that want to play games on their PCs, and that's the experience they want. We have certain people who love to play on their consoles and their television. A lot of players that like to play in both places. And when we think about streaming, I think initially for us, it is really about another choice for players when they're away from their console and want to take that experience with them. I think when you look out longer term, we will start reaching new customers with streaming who don't have a gaming PC and don't have a console. And we clearly have that in mind when we think about the future of Project xCloud. But we also know that early on, the support for our customers that are there, and frankly, those are the customers that always use the first things that we put out, is going to be an important thing. So gamer choice, give you access to the games that you want to play. We do that through Game Pass and through our growing first party and the support we have from third parties, the thousands of games in development, allowing you to stay connected with all your players regardless of what device. Xbox Live is across all of these experiences, whether you're on PC, a console, or Project xCloud. And then with the cloud, having the ability to take those experiences to you on your phone wherever you go is a critical part of where we're going to go. And we'll have our customers will choose what they want to play, and I think that's fine. That's our job, is to give them the choice, and they will vote with what they want.
iPhones or Android phones, the upgrade cycle is really quick, but you don't necessarily need a new phone to run the old apps. It's been 3 years since Xbox One X, so is like a 3-year cycle for new hardware going to be maybe a milestone? Or
this is completely honest. We don't have a timeline.
Yeah.
For when future console has to come. What we do as a team with our hardware engineers and our creators is we think about what is the next mark that we can make that will actually matter to the experience itself. So you mentioned Xbox One X. When we define that, we really set a goal to deliver 4K gaming. And we said that if we can't reach 4K with that console, that we shouldn't do anything that's less than 4K. Doesn't mean every game or every developer is going to target 4K on the box, but we knew we could build really quality games. So when we started on Project Scarlett, it was about how do these great games look and how they feel. So for us, it was a big focus on frame rate. In fact, for the last couple of years, I've been talking about that kind of foreshadowing, which meant focus on the CPU, focus on frame rate, variable refresh rate, ensuring the box can go up to 120 frames per second, working with TV manufacturers on what does it mean for the TVs to support variable refresh rate and higher frame rates so that the games feel as good as they look. And both of those things are going to get better in the next generation.
Talking about Project Scarlett, I think I heard 8K capability.
Yeah.
So I wonder, what does 8K capability mean in Project Scarlett?
We've never been a platform, or never is probably too strong. We're not a platform today that tries to dictate creative to creators. When we say, here's the capability the box has, we know developers are going to target the right experience for their game. Even today, some games on our platform target 1080p 60 frames per second. Some target 4K 60 frames per second. Some target 4K 30 frames per second. So what we're saying in Project Scarlet is the box is capable of doing 8K. It's also capable of doing 120 hertz. Now, what a developer decides they actually want to do for their experience is going to be up to their game. And I think that's important. We create the canvas, they do the art. It is a capability of the box, just like 120 frames per second, and creators will find the right spot for them.
Today, we invite those of you here at E3 for our first public hands-on of Project xCloud.
A lot of things are in your control with the hardware itself and the ecosystem you're building, but connection speeds are not necessarily in your control. So like, what is the required or recommended connection speed for both streaming to the cloud and streaming locally?
One of the reasons with Project xCloud that we're not coming in and trying to tell people to stop doing what they were doing before and to adopt streaming today as the only way that they should play is because of what you point out. Like, we know that our players today love the experience of controller in their hand, keyboard and mouse in their hand, screen local compute. And we look at streaming as something, as we talked about before, that's additive to the experience that they have. So when we look at the capability of what's going to be required with Project xCloud today, we're running on 4G and it plays fine. I use it. I'm not trying to say it's recreating the experience you have as an Xbox One X, in your family room connected to your TV. It's a different experience than that, but it does go with you. So it is about creating a new, unique experience, not trying to replicate what you have. The out-of-home streaming, just like you said, will dictate by your out-of-house upload speeds. Different people have different connection speeds. People can kind of mess with this already today, and people will work on getting them the specific specs, but I think on what they require. But I think all of it is around us giving people choice, and not trying to say that the console you have today is bad, or that you shouldn't be playing on a PC today, or somehow downloading your games so that you can play them offline is bad. This is really just about giving people choice and allowing them to have the experience that they want to have.
Console streaming. It turns your Xbox One into your own personal and free xCloud server.
Are you worried at all about, like, with the local streaming, device to device? Is that something that's a trickier kind of thing to do at all?
I definitely would say that it's up to the user. The user has more control over their in-home experience, which is why we're building both, right? So that, because we know even something like, okay, I left my console on so I can stream from my console, that's great. Somebody wants to turn off the console or they want to play another game on that console. The fact that over time, this hybrid gaming cloud that has Xboxes in the data centers and Xboxes in the home, where you can fairly quickly move your state between those two things, mean as you travel around or different things happen in your home, we'll be able to replicate the experience so that you're able to just continue to game.